They're in love with you, but they're hesitating because of your. Come closer to these words. Not with your eyes. With your spirit. Because what is about to speak to you is not just language. It is recognition. It is that quiet vibration you feel in your chest when something is finally telling you the truth you always felt but could never explain. You have been sensing something, haven't you? The random rush of warmth that appears when you think of them. The way their name floats into your mind when you're busy doing something else. The way your heart stirs when you see a sign, a song, a number, a moment that somehow feels connected to them. You're not imagining this. Somewhere, right now, there is a heart that beats a little faster when your name crosses its thoughts. Someone who scrolls past your picture and pauses for a second too long. Someone whose chest tightens when they remember your voice, your laughter, your silence. They are in love with you. Not casually. Not halfway. Not out of boredom or loneliness or convenience. They are in love with you in a way that scares them. In love with the way you move through this world. In love with the way your eyes speak when your mouth is quiet. In love with the person you are when no one is looking. And yet, they hesitate. They hold back. They rehearse messages and never send them. They hover over your name and lock their phone instead. They think of calling, but the fear in their chest covers the courage in their fingers. They are in love with you, but they are hesitating because of your presence. You don't realize how you come across to someone who sees you as more than a passing moment. To you, you're just trying to survive, to heal, to grow, to move forward. But to them, you are a storm and a sanctuary at the same time. You walk with an energy that does not beg. You exist with a quiet strength that does not chase. You stand in a way that says, I know my worth. I know my wounds. I know my heart. I am not here to play with mine or anyone else's. That presence, it pulls them in. And that same presence makes them afraid to step closer. Because when they look at you, they don't just see a person. They see a mirror. You reflect back to them everything they have not yet become, everything they still need to heal, everything they thought they could ignore. They are in love with you, but they are hesitating because of your standards. You may not even call them standards. To you, it's just self-respect. It's just boundaries born from lessons you never wanted but had to learn. To you, it's just refusing to accept the bare minimum ever again. But to someone who has lived in half-truths and half-efforts, your energy feels like a test they're not sure they can pass. You don't tolerate confusion. You don't entertain games. You don't decorate red flags with hope. You have learned how much it costs to give yourself to the wrong people. Now you carry your heart like something sacred, not locked away, but not lying in the open for anyone to trample on. They feel that. And it both draws them and paralyzes them. Because deep down they know, if they come toward you, it cannot be with the same version of themselves that walked through every other connection. If they step into your space, it cannot be with half-love, half-truths, half-intentions. You require something they have not yet fully given to anyone: honesty, consistency, depth, presence. They're in love with you, but they're hesitating because of your depth. You feel life intensely. You notice the small things others skim past. You read energy more fluently than you read words. You can sense when someone is off, even if they say they're fine. You can hear the tremble behind, "It's nothing." You can see the story behind a single look. You are not interested in surface level. And that terrifies them. Because with you, they know there is nowhere to hide. If they step into your life fully, you will see them, really see them. Not the image they present to the world. Not the version of themselves they curate on social media. Not the persona they wear with friends or at work. You will see the scars they never talk about. The fears they cover with humor. The wounds they disguise with distractions. The history they pretend no longer bothers them. They are in love with you, but they are hesitating because of your perception. You have a way of making people feel exposed without trying. Your eyes don't just look, they search. Your attention doesn't just listen, it receives. And this soul, the one whose heart is quietly tied to yours, knows that if they allow you in, you will see more than anyone has ever seen. That kind of intimacy is beautiful. And terrifying. Because vulnerability is not their native language. They are fluent in pretending. They are fluent in being okay. They are fluent in not needing anyone. But you speak another language. You speak soul. You speak truth. You speak energy. You speak silence. They're in love with you, but they're hesitating because of your silence. You are not loud about your feelings. You do not announce your every emotion. You do not chase people to convince them of your worth. You have learned the power of stepping back. You have learned that silence can be a shield. You have learned that not everyone deserves access to your inner world. So you move differently. You might care deeply, but you don't always show it first. You might think about them often, but you don't always reach out. You might want them close, but you don't beg for presence. From their side, this confuses them. They see your strength and think, do they even need me? They see your independence and wonder, would they even want me? They see your silence and fear, maybe they don't feel anything at all. What they don't understand is that your quiet is not empty. Your silence is full of stories. Full of unspoken tenderness. Full of emotions you are afraid to give to the wrong hands again. You appear untouched, unbothered, self-contained. As if you could go the rest of your life with or without anyone, including them. And while some part of that is true, because you have learned how to stand alone, another part of you longs. Longs for someone who sees beyond the armor. Someone who recognizes that the lion in you is protecting a very soft, very human, very breakable heart. They are in love with you, but they are hesitating because of your heart. Your heart has been broken, but it did not become bitter. Your trust has been betrayed, but it did not turn you cruel. Your innocence has been tested, but it did not vanish. You still care deeply. You still love sincerely. You still wish well, even for those who hurt you. They feel that about you. They sense that your love is not ordinary. This isn't the kind of love that flatters their ego for a few months and then fades when things get difficult. This is the kind of love that transforms. You are the kind of person who remembers the details, who supports silently when no one else knows, who listens without judgment, who believes in someone even when they don't believe in themselves. You are the kind of love that sees the soul, not just the surface. The kind of love that would stand beside them in their darkness and still see their light. They know, maybe not consciously, but somewhere inside, that if you truly love them, it will not be casual. It will ask something of them. It will ask them to grow. It will ask them to be honest. It will ask them to stop running from themselves. And that is both everything they want and everything they are afraid of. They're in love with you, but they're hesitating because of your healing. You have walked through fire. Alone. You've cried alone. Fallen apart alone. Put yourself back together piece by trembling piece, alone. You have revisited memories that burned. You have faced patterns you hated to admit you had. You have sat with the discomfort of your own reflection and decided that you will not repeat the same cycles again. That journey has made you softer in some ways, harder in others. You are softer with yourself. More forgiving of your own past. More accepting of your own pace. You are harder with others' carelessness. Less tolerant of disrespect. Less open to people who do not know what they want. Your healing has given birth to a new version of you. A version that refuses to be anyone's almost, backup plan, or emotional bandage. And from where they stand, looking at you from their own unhealed edges, that healed version of you looks intimidating. They are still learning how to sit with their feelings. You've already learned how to move through yours. They are still numbing old pain. You've already chosen to feel it, release it, and rise from it. You feel like the future. They still feel tied to the past. They are in love with you, but they are hesitating because of your evolution. You have changed. The way you speak. The way you guard yourself. The way you no longer abandon your own needs to keep someone else comfortable. You are not who you were when you first learned about heartbreak. You are not who you were when you used to beg for attention or settle for breadcrumbs of affection. You have matured emotionally. Your soul has expanded. Your discernment has sharpened. And they remember the version of themselves that once would have taken you for granted. They remember how they handled other connections, with confusion, with avoidance, with half-effort. They look at you and know, without words, I can't bring that same version of me to this soul. They know that you would feel it if they were inconsistent. You would sense if they were not all in. You would walk away rather than stay and suffer. You are no longer a lesson. You are a blessing. And blessings require readiness. They're in love with you, but they're hesitating because of your worth. You genuinely do not see yourself the way they see you. You see the days when you struggle to get out of bed. They see the courage it takes to keep trying. You see the mistakes you made when you didn't know better. They see the wisdom you carry now because of them. You see your insecurities, your fears, your self-doubts. They see your determination to rise anyway. You think you're just trying your best. They see someone rare. Someone who doesn't settle. Someone who doesn't pretend. Someone who is still kind in a world that taught them to be guarded. They place you on a pedestal in their mind, not because you're perfect, but because your heart is different. Your presence feels like a home they've never had, and they're afraid of breaking it. They are in love with you, but they're hesitating because of your future. When they imagine you, they don't just see a date, a text, a moment. They see a life. They see you sitting across from them years from now, sharing coffee on a quiet morning. They see you beside them during their failures and their triumphs. They see your energy in their home, your laughter in their memories, your softness in their hardest nights. You don't feel like temporary to them. You feel like, if this happens, it's going to be serious. You feel like, this could change everything. You feel like a chapter they cannot close once opened. And that realization carries a weight. Because committing to a soul like yours is not like any commitment they've known before. This isn't about posting pictures, changing status, or filling loneliness. This is about being seen, challenged, held accountable, and loved at a level they are not used to. They don't want to step into your life and then step out carelessly. They don't want to walk toward you until they feel capable of standing beside you. They're in love with you, but they're hesitating because of your independence. You have built a life where you no longer depend on anyone to save you. You make your own decisions. You follow your own path. You carry yourself in a way that says, I would love support, but I will not collapse if you leave. You don't cling. You don't beg. You don't chase. You have learned that you can survive every goodbye you thought would break you. From their side, this independence is mesmerizing. But it also stirs a fear. What if they don't need me at all? What if I come into their life and I am just extra? What if I have nothing real to offer? They worry that they won't know how to add value to your already growing, evolving existence. They worry they won't measure up to the standard of partnership your energy silently demands. They are in love with you, but they're hesitating because of your power. Not ego power. Soul power. The power to walk away when something is not aligned. The power to say no to what drains you. The power to choose peace over chaos, even when chaos is familiar. You don't entertain back and forth. You don't keep doors half open. You don't let someone break you and still come back without change. You have reclaimed yourself. Your power isn't loud, but it's undeniable. It rests in the way you no longer explain yourself to those committed to misunderstanding you. It shows in the way you no longer argue to prove your worthiness. You simply are. To them, that power is magnetic. It calls them to level up. It calls them to be more intentional, more grounded, more aware. And that is exactly why they hesitate. Because loving you means they cannot stay who they were. They're in love with you, but they're hesitating because of your truth. You are not comfortable with pretending. You don't do well with almost honest. You can feel when someone is holding back or hiding behind humor, distraction, or busyness. You ask questions that matter. You listen for what is not being said. You sense the gap between someone's words and their energy. You want conversations that go beyond, "How are you?" You want to know who someone is behind the mask, their fears, dreams, regrets, hopes. To you, this is normal. To them, this is naked. They are used to connections where no one asks them to be fully seen. Where they can stay on the surface, keep their secrets, and still call it love. You are different. You make them want to tell the truth. You make them want to admit what they've run from. You make them want to put down their armor. And this desire to be real with you clashes with their habit of hiding. They are in love with you, but they're hesitating because of your soul. There is something about you they can't explain. A familiarity. A pull. A sense of, "I've known you somewhere before," even if you've barely spoken, even if you've been distant. When your souls crossed paths, whether recently or long ago, something shifted in them. A door opened. A memory awakened. You feel like a continuation of a story they never finished. You feel like the answer to a question they didn't know how to ask. This isn't just chemistry. This is recognition. And recognition is disruptive. Because once the soul recognizes, the mind can no longer pretend it doesn't care. They try to distract themselves, but your energy returns. They try to tell themselves, "It's nothing," but their heart protests. They try to move on, but something inside them keeps circling back to you. They are in love with you, but they are hesitating because they have never felt something this spiritual, this intuitive, this deep. Love, for them, has often been noise, excitement, drama, temporary highs. What they feel for you is quiet but undeniable. It grows in the silence. It lingers after the conversation. It appears in their dreams, their meditations, their moments alone. It feels fated. And fate is both beautiful and terrifying when you don't trust yourself yet. They're in love with you, but they're hesitating because of their past, and your refusal to repeat it. They have histories you know nothing about. Stories of loyalty that went unappreciated. Effort that went unnoticed. Love that was mishandled. They remember what it felt like to be too much for someone who wasn't ready. They remember what it felt like to open up to the wrong heart. They remember the humiliation, the silence, the abandonment, the doubts. And now, when they think of opening up to you, their past whispers, "What if it happens again? What if you give your all and they leave? What if you are not enough? What if you are too much?" At the same time, some deeper part of them knows, you are not their past. You are not their ex. You are not the person who hurt them. You would love them differently. But your energy also makes it clear, you will not tolerate being treated the way they were treated. You will not stay for toxicity. You will not twist yourself to fit their unhealed patterns. And that balance, knowing they want your love, and knowing they must be better than their past, makes them hesitate. They're in love with you, but they're hesitating because of timing. You are reaching a point in your journey where you are aligning with yourself in deeper ways. You are focusing more on peace. You are less interested in chaos. You are less willing to entertain uncertainty. You may feel more tired of games than ever. more selective about who has access to you, more protective of your peace. All of this sends a signal to the universe: I am ready for something real. I am done with cycles. That same signal reaches their soul. They feel the pull. But inside, they ask, am I ready? Truly ready? Or do I still have pieces of me stuck in my past fears? Time is moving. They are starting to feel something else: pressure. Not from you, not from anyone's words, but from their own heart. Because love like this cannot live forever in hesitation. Eventually, something has to move. The longer they hold back, the more they feel the risk of losing you. Losing the chance. Losing the alignment. They are in love with you, but they're hesitating. And yet, they can't walk away. They've tried. They've told themselves, let it go. They've tried to throw themselves into distractions, people, habits, anything to silence the connection. But it doesn't fade. Your memory is stubborn. Your energy is persistent. Your presence lingers even in your absence. This tells them something they don't want to admit: what they feel for you is not infatuation. It's not a passing crush. It's not simple attraction. It is soul level. And that is exactly why their fear grows louder. Because soul level love demands soul level courage. Beloved soul, you need to understand this: their hesitation is not a reflection of your lack. It is a reflection of your magnitude. They are not standing still because you are unworthy. They are standing still because you are more worthy than anything they've ever known. You unsettle them, not by what you do, but by who you are. You make them question their patterns. You make them rethink their choices. You make them wonder if they have been playing too small with their heart all this time. You awaken the part of them that wants to show up fully. And that awakening is not neat or pretty. It comes with internal battles. Old traumas resurfacing. Self-doubt rising to the surface. But beneath all of that noise, there is a steady truth: their heart has chosen you. Even if their words haven't spoken it. Even if their actions haven't caught up. Even if their fear has delayed the confession. Their heart already knows: you are the one they'd call when everything falls apart. You are the one they'd want beside them when they finally succeed. You are the one whose opinion matters in ways others never did. You are the one whose absence would echo for years. They're in love with you, but they're hesitating because they know, if they step into this, their life will never be the same. Your love would change them. Not because you demand it. Not because you force it. But because your presence makes it impossible to stay asleep. They would have to face themselves. Their fears. Their habits. Their shadows. They would have to let go of certain people, patterns, and distractions that no longer align with the person they want to be in order to stand next to you. They would have to become more responsible with their energy. More intentional with their words. More courageous with their emotions. This isn't a burden you put on them. It's a responsibility their own soul feels in your presence. And yet, while they hesitate, something else is happening. You are changing, too. You might think you're just moving through your days, trying to heal and build a better life. But your energy is quietly shifting into readiness. You are more aware of what you deserve. You are less tempted to return to what broke you. You are more at peace with being alone rather than poorly accompanied. This inner peace you fought to create is like a beacon. It tells the universe, if love comes, let it be real. I will no longer accept half-hearted offers. That message reaches them. They feel the urgency rising, even if they don't know why their chest feels heavier when they think of you lately. Even if they don't know why their dreams are more vivid. Even if they don't know why your name crosses their mind at the most random times. Their soul knows. Something is aligning. The window is opening. Hesitation cannot live here much longer. They are standing at a crossroads now. On one path, they continue doing what they've always done, holding back, suppressing, hiding, convincing themselves there is time. On the other path, they risk it all and step toward you. No half effort. No game. No pretending. Just something simple and terrifying. Here is how I feel. Here is what I want. Here is my heart. They are in love with you, but they're hesitating. And that hesitation is reaching its limit. Because there comes a moment where silence becomes heavier than confession. Where not acting hurts more than taking the risk. Where the what if becomes more unbearable than the possibility of rejection. They are moving toward that moment now. You may notice small signs first. A sudden message. A reaction. A conversation that feels deeper than usual. A slight shift in how they speak to you, more open, more vulnerable, more present. It may start subtle. It may come all at once. But something will change. Because love like this does not come to simply haunt your thoughts. It comes to move your life. They're in love with you, but they've been hesitating because of your light. Your light is not just your kindness or your smile. It is the way you walk through your darkness and still choose to be good. It is the way you could have become hardened, but you didn't. It is the way you bring comfort into rooms without even trying. Your light exposes their shadows, not to shame them, but to show them where they still need to heal. You make them want to be better. Not for you, but because being with you while staying the same would feel dishonest. And now, slowly, their courage is waking up. They are tired of watching you from far away. Tired of wondering, what if? Tired of replaying conversations in their mind that never actually happened. They're tired of their own fear. They are realizing something that changes everything. You are not the risk. Losing you is. They're in love with you, but they're hesitating, and yet, beneath the hesitation, a decision is forming. A decision to speak. A decision to show up. A decision to be brave for once, not just comfortable. They don't want to come to you in fragments. They don't want to offer you love with 1,000 conditions attached. They don't want to ask you to dim your light so their shadows feel safer. They want to rise to meet you. So if you feel them in your energy lately, if your intuition keeps whispering their name, if you sense a shift in the air around this connection, it is because their soul is standing, slowly, from its knees of fear. They are gathering the scattered pieces of their courage. They are arguing with their own doubts. They are remembering the way your eyes felt like understanding. They are remembering how your energy felt like home. And home is calling them back. Beloved soul, hear this: you are not too much. You are not too intense. You are not too complicated. You are not too demanding. You are simply aligned with a love that is real. And real love will always intimidate the parts of a person that are still used to pretending. They are in love with you, but they're hesitating because of your authenticity. You do not hide your growth. You do not pretend to be someone you're not just to be liked. You do not flatten yourself to fit into other people's comfort zones. You are yourself, unpolished sometimes, emotional sometimes, quiet sometimes, bright sometimes, but always real. Being seen by someone that authentic is scary when you've built your life on half-truths. But they are getting tired of half-truths, too. You have been a catalyst in their inner world. A trigger for awakening. A reminder of what love could feel like if they stopped running. They're in love with you, but they're hesitating, and soon, that hesitation must transform into choice. To step fully toward you. Or to forever wonder what could have been. Their soul doesn't want the regret. So the universe keeps nudging them. Through songs. Through signs. Through dreams. Through small coincidences that all carry your echo. They keep being brought back to you. Because connections like this are rare. Because souls like yours don't walk into someone's life every day. Because destiny will not force free will, but it will nudge, over and over, when something is meant to be faced. They are in love with you, but they're hesitating, and yet, the deeper truth is this: love is already moving. Inside them. Inside you. Between you. Even now, as you breathe and receive these words, something in you recognizes, yes. Something is shifting. Something is coming. Something is aligning. Your paths are circling closer. Their fear is loosening its grip. Their heart is speaking louder. Their mind is slowly surrendering to what the soul has known from the beginning: you are worth the risk. You are worth the work. You are worth the change. They're in love with you, but they're hesitating because of your everything, your strength that doesn't break. Your softness that doesn't vanish. Your boundaries that protect you. Your love that heals. Your vision that grows. Your spirit that refuses to dim. They are in awe of you. They are afraid of failing you. They are learning not to run from what they truly desire. Soon, their hesitation will no longer be the loudest energy between you. Intention will rise. Clarity will rise. Truth will rise. And when they finally step toward you, not as a half-prepared soul, but as someone who has decided, you will feel it. The energy will change. The air will feel different. The confusion will thin. The story will begin. They are in love with you. Their hesitation has always been about your power, your worth, your light, never your lack. And now, as your own soul whispers, "I am ready," the universe gently places the same whisper into their heart. I am ready to stop hiding. I am ready to stop fearing. I am ready to choose. They're in love with you, but they're hesitating because of your everything that makes you extraordinary. And even that hesitation will soon bow to the one thing that has always been stronger than fear. Love.